Hey Empire fam, and welcome to episode 4 of the Empire podcast. We are back, girls, with our second edition. Hey, restrictions have lifted, kind of. What have you girls been up to?
A lot. Too much, to be honest. I'm a little bit tired. No, but, just hang out with friends, catching up with people. Yeah, it's been great.
And watching movies, because I know I think last time you were saying that you and Josh watch a lot of movies.
Yes, we did. We wanted to go watch The Tenet.
Oh my gosh.
I still don't understand.
I'm like
seen
still
it?
finding things out about that movie.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You should watch it. But man, Robert Pattinson.
He did so good.
was
There's
good.
hope for Batman.
Yeah.
He was really good.
Yeah.
Did you catch up with any friends, Holly?
Yeah, basically that's what I've been doing. Like I've just been getting back into work,
Yeah.
and then I've loved going out for dinner with friends and like
That's so
gonna see my
good.
family soon, which
Yeah.
is good. But
Oh, that's good.
yeah, I can't wait.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, in this podcast, we're actually talking about friends, which is an interesting topic. So I was just wondering if there was any funny moments that you girls have had with your best friend, either another friend or like sister, brother. I know you have got plenty, and some ready to be exposed right now, but I don't care.
Oh my gosh, no. One comes to mind, and okay, I need to like get in the zone so I don't laugh. No, okay, so one day we had like this family dinner, right? And we were coming home. And we all got
We're
in the car.
yeah.
We all got in the car. It was Jake that was driving. Mel was in the passenger seat. I was directly behind her. Chanel was in the middle and James was on the other side. And so I got into the car and Mel was already in the car. And as soon as I sat down, on top of her head was this massive
No joke.
spider.
It was like
almost
this
a
big,
huntsman.
right up there, like
Literally. And I looked at that and I was like, nah, I'm out. And I literally got, like, that was my wording. And everyone's like, whoa, what's up with her? And I was like, nah, there's a spider in the car, you. Get out. And then Mel was like, where? And she was like, she freaked out.
I freaked out. I screamed, but then
As she got out of her seat, I let out
a fart.
like, but massive, so it's like this rocket.
It literally helped me to get out of the seat.
and then we're all like, wait, what the heck just happened? And we were just laughing. It was really funny. So every time someone gets scared, it was just like, do you have a rocket too?
Yeah. It's the thing. It's the thing
It
now.
was so funny.
But yeah, even the story of when you got electrocuted.
But everyone knows that. Like, I've shared that.
You shared it at Empire, but I'll share it again. We
God.
went to Thailand, and anyway, in our really dodgy hotel, there happened to be a live wire just above the pool. So we were all splashing around, having fun and whatnot, and this one gets out. And the wire, it zapped her in the back.
But like,
I mean, what was going through your mind when...
Because I was like, oh, I want to ask what we're doing for dinner. Like, I'm always thinking about food. So I went to my mom, I was like, hey. And then I just felt this, and I started laughing. I was like, oh, what's going on? And then I, like, was falling, and I was like, this feels weird. Something's not right. And I was just falling. And then as I fell... I hear Mal running, and she was like, oh my God, Mom, Jess is turning blue. She's gonna die. And I was like, I'm only 15 and I'm gonna die. Like, I'm not even gonna make it to 10th grade. Like, I was like, what the heck? And so then I started bawling my eyes out.
You were turning blue though, like your lips were going blue.
Well, apparently I wasn't, because after everyone was like, you're so dramatic. And even her brother-in-law was like, I got zapped and it didn't like bother me. I was like, get out. Like, shut up.
But come on, I looked out for you. You
Yeah,
literally
she looked
looked
out
up
for
to
me.
me. Didn't you? Just then?
No, you instilled the fear of, I don't even know, in me.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, like
That was funny.
in regards to looking up to someone, is there anyone that like you could look up to, you know, where it was your best friend or like even your mum, boyfriend, husband, whoever. I mean, in that moment while you were going to die, quotation, I'm sure because your face was literally
Physically, I looked up
on
to
my
you.
lap, and
That's about it.
to me.
Like, physically, I looked up to you. Yo, oh my gosh. I was like, yeah, I'm never going to graduate. Like, yeah, I'm never going to have, like, kids or get married. I was like, I'm going to die. Like, this is it. In Thailand.
I think one of the people that I really look up to, and everyone's probably going to, but it'll probably be my mum.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks for that. But I think some of the things that I really have looked up to is the way she's so hospitable. So as you may know, and I'm sure a lot of people have walked through the DiGiacomo household at some point, parties, whatever it might be, but that's right. But in all seriousness, the way literally she goes above and beyond preparing like heaps of food, the way she just opens up her house to anyone and everyone. Like it kind of seems like it's sort of like a refuge, like place, like where you can just be yourself, and it's just because of her, because of how much love and care that she shows to everyone that walks through those doors. And that's like one of the things that I'm like, yep, that's what I want in my household. Like, I want to be able to invite people over. I don't want them to feel uncomfortable when they come in. I want them to raid the fridge, our cupboards, whatever, like you do all the time. But
Gonna do me like that? No, it's literally a reflex.
But literally, that's like one of the things. It is. But that's literally one of the things that I'm just like, yeah, that's what I want to take, a hold of from her. So, yeah.
No, I love that. Mine would definitely be my mum as well. I think just because for me she's just the most like generous person that I know, and like not just generous in like finance, but like in words and encouragement especially. I just think that like when it comes to like the sort of person I want to be and the way that she makes people feel, that's how I want to make people feel. So I would definitely say that like when it comes to the person I look up to the most, it would also be my mum.
Yeah. Mums are cool.
Yeah.
They're great. Anyone else?
For me, I would probably say, yes, I'm my mum too, but also I've got like a big family, lots of girls on my dad's side, so I look up to a lot of my cousins. Just because it's kind of the same reason, like they're just like really God-fearing women, and so like you always feel so encouraged and so loved when you're around them, and it always, every time I'm around them, it always encourages me to be more like that. Because you know, sometimes you can forget about, you know, when you're talking and stuff, how the people around you feel. So it always reminds me, you know, to always be encouraging to other people around you, just always to make them feel at home. You know, that's the real goal for me.
No, that's great. That's so good. Like, I guess when you also look up to someone, it doesn't have to be just that person, but there are other people that like I look up to too. So like Jake, for instance, who has definitely helped me through some of the hardest moments, like in my life. And one of them that I can remember was actually, we were best friends. So this was when we were like 18 years old, and I just got out of a really toxic relationship, and it just so happened that this breakup happened the day before youth camp. And so I remember rocking up to church because Mum forced me. She goes, it'll do you good. Like, you know, you're going to find God and he's going to restore you and whatnot. And I'm like, oh, literally, I don't want to be here. Plus, like, I was like, who the heck am I going to hang out with? Because being involved in this relationship, I lost a lot of my friends. Like, I wasn't really close to them anymore and whatnot. So coming to church and literally me with my bag just like standing there, I'm solo. I'm just like, oh my gosh, what the heck am I doing here? I remember though getting onto that bus and I saw Jake sitting by himself, and there was a spare seat next to him, and I walked over and I was like, hey, Jake. He's like, oh, hey, Mel. I'm like, do you mind if I sit next to you? Because I've got no one to sit next to. And he goes, yeah, sure, that's cool. Like, you can take the window seat if you want. I'm like, okay. So I sat myself down, and then he turns over to me and he's just like, are you okay? And I literally start, you know how when you just bawl your eyes out. And then he was like, obviously, like, guys don't, like, you know. But literally, like, that whole bus ride, like, he helped me, like, just not through it all. Like, I wasn't, like, obviously restored and healed and whatnot. But, like, you know, he was able to answer some of the questions that I had, and he was able to just encourage me and push me and just be like, hey, you actually did the right thing in coming along to this. Yeah. And with that, like, because I opened up to him in with that situation, a couple of weeks after, he actually helped me to just, you know, chat to my parents about some stuff that went on and whatnot. Yeah. Because if it wasn't for him, I would still be, you know, hiding things, and I wouldn't fully have been, like, healed, I guess, from past hurts and whatnot. So he really helped me and encouraged me and told me, hey, like, tell your parents it's going to be good. Like, that's so, you know, it's a good healing process to be able to talk to someone. So, yeah, he helped me with that. Like, that's awesome. Just he extended so much grace, and so I'm so thankful that, like, we were able to have that friendship prior, like, to now getting married and whatnot. Yeah. Like, that's so cool. It's great. So,
wow.
Cool.
Yeah. No, that reminds me of a time. It wasn't even like that long ago. I said it like 10 years ago, but it was like a couple months ago. It's all right. It was during ISO, and like someone that I really look up to is my brother James. I swear he's like Jesus. Honestly, like, he just is so close to like the Holy Spirit, and like if I ever have a problem, he's like, okay, what about this? And I'm like, oh, true. Like, I don't know, you know, but like, I just thought, I remembered a time as you were talking, how, okay, so I was in my third semester at uni, and just this past couple months, and I finished, hallelujah. Anyway,
go girl.
It was hard. No, but there was this one assignment, and like, if you know me, I'm just like always stressed. I don't know why. I'm just like, hey, how are you? I'm stressed. It's just always stressed. So when it comes to my assessments, I'm like, okay, no, I need to have them like completed at least 1 week before the due date. Like all those memes where it's like 11:59, you hand it in. That is not me. No I'm like, way. No. Like, why would I do that, you know? Okay, but then in this particular time, okay, was ISO. I do not do well indoors all the time. Like, I need to go out to a restaurant, you know what I mean? But there was this, one day I had this assessment and I thought I was finished. And I was like, James, could you just like read over it? Like, tell me it's good, you know, affirm me. And then like I was reading through it and I was like, oh my gosh, this actually doesn't like tick any of the criteria. Or like, what have I done?
When was it due?
So I read over it on the Sunday it was due. And I was like, what have I done?
You're going to be that
like,
TikTok
you know that
meme.
TikTok, oh no thing?
Yeah.
It was like, the more,
oh no.
like the more you realize, you're like, oh my gosh, like what the heck? And so that Sunday, it was probably like 8 a.m. And I was like, I need to redo this assignment that's due tonight. I was like, oh my gosh, okay, so I need to do this. And so James came in, I was like, this is so trash, like, it's so bad, I need to redo it. Yeah. So for about 5 hours, so it would have been 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, so 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., I was just rewriting this thing. But it just wasn't happening. Like, you know when you just lose all confidence and you're like, nah.
I
And
guess
so
'cause you were stressed too.
yeah, I was breathing. I was like, there was stress coming out of every pore. Anyway, I come down for lunch and I'm just crying. Like, we're eating pasta. I'm like, I'm gonna fail. And my parents are like, bro, relax. Like, you need to calm down. And then James comes up to my room after. And again, I'm in my chair just crying. Like, I can't do this. And he was like, okay, Jess, like, here, have these topic sentences. He read through the criteria once, and it's like he became this expert in all that I'm
exactly
studying.
like Jake too.
Oh, it's like, how do you comprehend it, you know?
Yeah.
And anyway, he gave me all this stuff, and he was like, okay, I'll come back in a couple hours. And I was like, okay, cool. I sat at my computer. I was like, I don't know how to type. And so another 5 hours pass. Comes 6 p.m. I don't even have dinner. I'm still working on it. I'm a lost case at this point. James comes back up at 7:30 p.m. He's like, how'd you go? I'm like, I've got nothing. Like, I can't do this. I had like all these random paragraphs, these words, and it just like didn't align. And he's like, okay, all right, let's print it out. So we printed it out. He brought in his laptop. I sent him the document. And we literally worked together like this, just typing. He's like, okay, this will go here. Like, we printed it out. We cut out every paragraph. And he's like, see, these are good. It just needs to be restructured.
Wow.
And we stayed up till 11:30 p.m. So I had half an hour left. And we just wrote out this whole thing.
Wow.
And he helped me do my flipping assessment. And
Go
then
him.
at 11:45 p.m., I handed it in. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Did you
And it was
cry?
like, I like went to bed and I fell asleep straight away.
Yeah.
Because it was like that whole
Yeah.
day I was just
Yeah.
stressing. But yeah, like I will never forget that moment. Because
Yeah.
it was just like, I looked up to him prior to that. And then after that, I was like, oh my gosh, you actually practice what you preach.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I've seen
that's
this and I will
beautiful.
never forget it.
I
And
love
so,
that.
I know, it was just
So
like,
sweet.
I think about that all the time. Like, wow. But yeah.
That's the best.
Any other hard moments?
Yeah, I think for me, this is like, yeah, sort of like, I guess ongoing and
Yeah.
recent as well, but something that my mum always helps me through. She has like such good perspective on things,
Yeah.
and I think I'm very much like a planner. Like, I'm the same thing. Like, I can't ever wait till like 11:59
Yeah.
to submit something. I'm
No.
similar to you. So I think if I don't know what's coming, I like think of all the hypothetical
Yeah.
situations and what I'm going to do and how people are going to respond and how
Yeah.
I want to respond. And then sometimes my mom's just like, you need to not do that.
Yeah,
sort of
I know.
thing. So I feel like the big, oh, sorry. you
Yeah.
go.
Oh, no. I just feel like whenever you are in a hard moment or place, whatever, and the stress and anxiety and like you just feel so overwhelmed, it literally takes you nowhere.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
you don't finish anything
So
like
true.
that you have started or whatnot
Yeah.
because you are just so filled with so much.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you're
Like,
literally like in quicksand.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just getting
exactly.
worse because
Yeah.
of your worry.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that's like something I love about my mum, and the thing
Yeah.
that she always brings back to my
Yeah.
attention is that like none of this has even happened yet.
Yeah.
And it's just like at the end of the day, it's
Yeah.
like the thing she always reminds me of is that like your thoughts are not facts.
Yeah.
So
That's
yeah,
cool.
she's always brings great
Dang, yeah.
perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just like, I guess we all in my family listen to a lot of Dr. Caroline Leaf as well, and
That's
she's
awesome.
always talking about like rewiring your brain
Yeah.
and that sort of thing. It's like that doesn't have to be your coping mechanism.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
have to go to hypotheticals. You
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
have to stress yourself out over something that's not happened yet, because
so cool.
at the end of the day, it's like
Yeah.
you can just trust that you're not going to be in lack because
Yeah.
you're in
Yeah,
God. And I
of
think that's the
course.
thing
So
she
true.
always helps me with. And that's why I'm
Yeah.
saying it's recent but always ongoing.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes
So
I'll call her
true.
at 7 a.m.
Yep.
Sometimes I'll call her at midnight. Like,
Exactly.
just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
but the thing I also love is that it's like she's never like tired of those phone calls
Yes.
as
Yeah.
well. It's just like I
Yeah.
could call her 1,000 times in 1 week and it's like always the same response.
Yeah.
And I just love it.
Yeah.
helps
I
me
guess
Yeah.
that's
so
like
much.
one of the many qualities that like you will want to find in a friend.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so true.
But like, are there any other qualities that that you want to find in a friend? Like, what are some wise choices that you want to make in order to, I guess, like, have a good, healthy
yeah.
friendship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I hear that. Sorry,
Yeah.
I hear that, and it's just like I love that consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you're calling me for the
Exactly.
15th time
Yeah.
today, but I'm
Yeah.
still, here's
Yeah.
my answer. And I feel like that's such a beautiful reflection of Jesus.
Yeah.
Because he's just so
Yeah.
consistent.
Yeah.
And so I'm not like that at all.
Yeah.
Okay. But it pushes
Yeah.
me, it motivates me
Exactly.
to be more
Yeah.
consistent.
Yeah.
And then so that's what I genuinely just
Yeah.
go to
Yeah.
for a friend, because I'm like, no, like you'll push me to be better.
That,
you know
that's
what I mean?
exactly
Yeah.
what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Like, you really need a friend who's not just going to tell you what you want to hear and all the fluffy stuff and
Of
stuff that
course.
sounds nice just
Yeah.
because they don't want to hurt your feelings. Like,
Yeah.
you need a friend that's going to tell you what you need to hear
Yeah.
Yeah,
to,
that's
to
so
get the
true.
best out of your situation.
Yeah.
Because you might have two friends. One tells you what you want to hear, and you might
Yeah.
think that they're the better friend because
Yeah.
you don't get, you don't get that feeling like of hurt
Yeah.
because you, like, the other friend told you what you really need to do.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I think that's really important. And if you do have a friend like that,
Keep
Keep
it.
them.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah.
it. Keep them. Yeah.
keep it.
Keep her. Him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so true. I have a
Yeah.
friend, my best friend is like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not like that. I'm not, because I hate conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just in my personality. So I really struggle. Like, sometimes if I know what I want to tell someone, like, I'll say it like the nice way because I don't want to
Yeah.
hurt
Yeah,
their
of
feelings.
course.
Just because I hate that.
Yeah.
But my best friend, she's not like that at all.
Yeah.
She will always tell me the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why she's been my best friend literally
Yeah.
for my whole life, because
Yeah.
I know if I ever have anything, I can go to her and really trust what she's
Yeah.
going to say
Yeah.
to
Of
me.
course.
Because,
Yeah.
I'm not, like, I'll take her advice and I'll
Yeah.
know that it's going to work out for me because
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I
It's
guess
so
that's
cool.
that's
Yeah.
being a real friend. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A true friend.
It's like exactly like that, because you guys have been such like best friends for the longest time. You would have seen like that through all the change, it's still constant because
Yeah.
all of her advice moved you to change.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
there's someone who's like, oh no, like you're fine, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. You'll
Yes.
stay in that
Yeah,
position.
exactly.
Like you won't move
Yeah.
forward. There
Yeah.
won't be change in your life.
Yeah.
Because every good advice motivates change.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
that's so
you're
true.
walking
true.
along like like in all our TV shows, we always highlight the best character development because of all the stuff that they've gone through
Yeah.
and the people around them pushing them. No, you can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, do this instead of this. Because
Yeah.
all good advice motivates change.
Yeah.
In
So
like the
true.
best way to
That's so
Yeah.
good.
make you who you're meant to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
guess
I
another
love
thing
that.
in coming, like in talking about this, is like the friendships that you have at the moment, are they bringing you down? Or are they
Yeah.
implementing the change? Are they helping
Yeah.
you to grow? Are they encouraging you in different areas and whatnot? Because like you said, like I've had friends where they've like said to like when I told them, hey, like this was when I was back at Youth Empire, just as a youth. But I told them, oh, I got asked to do this and I really don't want to because I'm just scared. And they're like, well, Mal, yeah, that's fine. You don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't. It's fine. Like, and you're more of a quiet person anyway.
Yeah.
So it's okay. Like, just say no. But it literally put me in a place where, like, yeah, I kind of felt like, yeah, I actually believe that. Like, I am
Yeah.
quiet. Yeah, I'm not called for that.
Yeah.
Maybe someone else is.
So true.
Whereas Jake and another friend like Claudia,
Yeah.
she was just like, even him, they were both like, no, like this is a great opportunity. You're
Yeah.
going to grow.
Yeah.
You're going to learn so
I love
much.
that.
And Mel, you are going to do so well.
Yeah.
Like God's got you, girl.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, all right, cool. But
Yeah.
you see there's a difference.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so it's like,
Yeah, it's so
yeah,
true.
like how are you being like a real friend? Sorry, that wasn't even structured like properly, but like how do you find a real friend like now? How are you guys being like real friends to
Yeah.
like
I
to
think,
your friendships?
Yeah, I think like what I was saying before, like my friend that I was talking about earlier,
Yeah.
she really encourages me to be like that.
Yeah.
So to, I'm like, more trying more to be like that and
Yeah.
to tell the truth when
Yeah.
when you know what that person
exactly.
has to do.
Yeah.
I feel like that's really how you can be a true
Yeah.
friend, just to be honest, with your friends, even
Yeah.
if you know that
Yeah.
maybe that's not what they want to hear,
Exactly.
or they might get, a little bit hurt by it.
Yeah.
I think you'll feel more at peace with yourself if you're honest.
Yeah.
And you stay true
Yeah.
to what you believe. I think that's definitely how you can.
I think like another thing is like I'm going to use this example again, but whenever we give opportunities to like influencers or whatever, I like to stand on the stage and whatnot and just sort of like hype them up, like, hey, you're going to do so well.
Yeah.
And obviously, it comes, the word spits out, I'm nervous though, like I'm so nervous, I'm shaking. And I'm like, girl, like you got this,
Yeah.
And I don't sympathize with them, but I am honest. And I'm like, yeah, I know it can be nerve-wracking, but you are called for this. Like, there is a reason why, like, you are going to be on this platform. Like, God's called you to this. So it's like, before you get on that platform, you just say, like, thank you, God, for this opportunity.
Yeah.
You've got my back. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm being honest. Like, hey, yeah, I know you're nervous. Like, girl, I was nervous too.
Yeah.
Like, when I did that. Like, I'm still nervous when I go on platform. I'm still nervous when I do welcome. But, hey, like, besides all that, like, we can do it. Like, you can do it.
That's so
So it's good, like, to be honest, because I don't know, I guess you can relate, like, be more comfortable, but then it's like switch it around where it's like, all right, yep, I know you're nervous. Let's now like let's shake this up and let's turn around from that thinking and let's move on to like positive and go for it. So yeah.
That's so true.
But I think, like, I reckon we'll definitely need to do a part 2 in this. But this is all the time that we have at the moment. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. And we will see you for another Girls Edition 3. See you guys.